Did you know that one 2026 model can score 97 out of 100 for predicted reliability, while another from the same badge drops to 25? That's not brand reliability. That's a trap. So in this video, we're not doing vibes. We're doing survivorship. 15 engines that have the design DNA to actually last, iron block stubbornness, conservative tuning, simple layouts, and we'll put them next to the new high-tech stuff that's struggling right now. Stick around because by the end, you'll know how to spot a future 500,000-mile powertrain before you sign anything. Number 1. Toyota 2.5-liter Dynamic Force, A25A. People hear high compression and direct injection, and they picture future headaches, right? So why does Toyota's A25A 2.5-liter keep showing up in the most boring, high-mileage commuters you can find? Because on paper, it has all the stuff people worry about. EGR flow, direct injection carbon buildup, start-stop cycling, and that whole thermal efficiency pitch that sounds like it's living on the edge. But it really isn't. Toyota didn't tune this thing to feel heroic. Power is sensible, throttle mapping is calm, and it spends most of its life loafing along well below its limits. Number 2. Honda K20/K24. If you want an engine that survives bad owners, you don't start with exotic tech. You start with the K series. Did you know K20S and K24s get treated like punching bags and still rack up the miles? People run them low on oil, bounce them off the limiter, bolt on cheap parts, and you won't believe how often the bottom end just keeps going. The secret? It's not magic, it's margin. The block is stout, the valve train is sensible, and the oiling fundamentals are strong. And when you actually have to service it, you can reach everything without dealer-only drama. Number 3. Toyota 3.5-liter V6 2GR. This is the V6 that ends arguments at used car lots, the 2GR. So what did Toyota do to make it so hard to kill? The 2GR spends its life in the easiest job imaginable. Minivans, mid-size SUVs, and commuters that just sit around 2,000 RPM for years, running steady and cool. The reason it works? Toyota tuned it conservatively, the cooling system is stout so it doesn't live heat-soaked, and the timing chain setup done right means fewer catastrophic scheduled failures down the road. Number 4. Toyota 1.8 liters 2ZR-FE. The quiet champion nobody brags about. If you ask the internet for legendary engines, the 2ZR-FE barely gets a mention. Yet it's the one you keep seeing still idling perfectly when the rest of the car is falling apart around it. Why does that happen? The answer is simple. Boring is the feature. The power output is conservative, so bearings and rings aren't living on the edge. The layout is simple enough that normal people can actually service it, and normal people actually do. Number 5 on Toyota 4.7 liters V8 2UZ-FE. Want the 500,000-mile story in one sentence? It's a big iron V8 that's barely trying. That's the 2UZ-FE. Big V8s usually get punished. Towing, off-road heat, bad fuel, long idle time. So why do these keep coming back from the dead? The answer? It's built to live below its limits. Cast iron block, a fully balanced steel crankshaft with 8 counterweights, forged connecting rods, conservative compression, and low specific output. The internals simply don't get worked that hard. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz OM617. This engine was never quick, but it's the reason people believe in million-mile cars, the OM617. So what's the trick? Old diesels sound like they should be fragile by now. Ancient fuel systems, hard starts, obscure parts hunting. And yet you still see these running as daily drivers. The reason is dead simple. The OM617 relies on a fully mechanical injection setup and low specific output, so it's not juggling a stack of sensors that can brick the whole car. Downside? Expect brittle rubber lines, vacuum gremlins, and rust everywhere nearby. Number 7. Mazda Skyactiv-G 2.0/2.5. High compression usually screams "Ping City" in a short life. So why do the Skyactiv-G 2.0 and 2.5 rack up miles without acting needy? You've heard the fear list: direct injection carbon, knock control that's too sensitive, and the idea that efficiency tech always means fragile. Did you know some Skyactiv-G setups run compression as high as 14:1? In the US, it's dialed back to 13:1 to work with regular fuel, but that's still sky high for a petrol engine. Sounds like a recipe for drama. Yet Mazda engineered around it with a long 4-2-1 exhaust header, ion sensing knock control, and piston cavities that manage detonation before it starts. Number 8. Subaru FB20/FB25. Subaru reliability arguments get heated fast, so why do some FB20 and FB25 cars hit big miles while others die early? You've heard the trust issues, oil consumption stories, old head gasket trauma from earlier generations, and owners who never check oil between changes. But the truth is, with these engines, that habit matters more than almost anything else. The flat layout keeps the center of gravity low and helps with balance, but it also demands attention. Oil level isn't set it and forget it, and the cooling system has to stay perfect, because overheating is the real killer. Number 9. Lexus 3.5-liter V6 2GR variant. Here's the weird part. Sometimes the same 3.5-liter V6 lasts longer simply because it's in a Lexus. How does that work? People assume luxury means fragile because there's more electronics and more stuff to age out. But you'll still find these with big miles that feel weirdly tight. The difference? It's owner behavior. Lexus owners are more likely to do dealer oil changes, use the correct coolant, fix small leaks early, and not mash the throttle stone cold leaving the driveway. Number 10. Honda B-Series. You've seen that 300,000-mile Civic with faded paint and a perfect idle, right? Good chance it's running a B-Series. So why did these things age so well? Because they got abused. Cheap turbos, sketchy tunes, track days, and teenage ownership. Most engines don't survive that era, and you won't believe how many B-Series still do. The reason? The core is a simple DOHC design, easy to understand, and the aftermarket basically taught an entire generation how to wrench. Parts are everywhere, so when something wears, it actually gets fixed. If you're enjoying this, drop a comment telling us which engine you'd trust with 500,000 miles. Number 11. Ford 5.0 Coyote. Most modern performance engines live soft lives. The 5.0 Coyote doesn't. It gets raced, towed with, and daily driven hard, so why isn't it a disaster? High RPM, tight packaging, and emissions hardware should mean heat and headaches. Yet you'll see Coyotes stacking serious miles. The truth is, it's got survivor DNA. The bottom end is built stout, and the oiling system is designed to keep up when you actually spin it. It's not depending on one fragile trick to stay alive. Number 12. Toyota Hybrid 1.8 liters 2ZR-FXE. Want to hack engine life? Make it run less. That's basically what the Toyota Hybrid 1.8 liter, the 2ZR-FXE, is doing, and it's why taxi fleets love it. People hear hybrid and think battery bills, inverter failures, and scary warning lights. Yet fleets routinely log 500,000 to 800,000 kilometers with minimal powertrain issues. What makes it work? The Atkinson cycle plus electric assist keeps the petrol engine out of hard launches. The electric motor gives the first shove, so the ICE comes in smoother at lower RPM, with less load on bearings and rings. Number 13. BMW B58. If you grew up hearing "never own an old BMW," the B58 makes that sound outdated. So what changed? A turbo inline-6 usually comes with a reliability tax. More heat, more hoses, more sensors, more ways to get stranded. But BMW actually fixed the big weak spots from their earlier Turbo 6s. The B58 has an aluminum closed deck block, far more rigid than the old open deck designs. paired with forged steel internals and a much improved cooling strategy. So the turbo and fuel system aren't getting cooked all day. Shops see stock. Well-serviced B58s go the distance, especially in the 3 Series, 5 Series, and X models. But the big boost no maintenance crowd still finds the limit fast. Number 14. Honda 1.5 liters L15. Small turbo engines are where new tech and big miles usually fight. So why is Honda's L15 still in the conversation? Buyers hear turbo heat, direct injection deposits, and those oil dilution stories, and they assume 200,000 miles is the finish line. But the reality is a lot of L15 longevity comes down to habits, not luck. Oil is doing double duty here, cooling and lubricating the turbo, so sloppy intervals add up fast. And cold starts matter because that first spool up happens when the oil is thick and fuel can sneak past the rings. Number 15. GM 5.3-liter V8 LS-based. You see GM 5.3-liter trucks everywhere because parts are cheap, fixes are simple, and miles just stack up. But there's one modern feature that can flip the story fast. Some 5.3 seconds sail past 300,000 miles like it's nothing, while others develop that expensive top-end tick early. And owners argue about it like it's rival sports teams. The thing is, the base LS-style pushrod layout is brutally practical. It's compact, it makes real low-end torque, and it's easy to work on, so fleets keep them alive for years. Just watch out for active fuel management and its lifter headaches on certain model years. That's the list. If you want more deep dives on engines, trucks, and the cars actually worth buying, subscribe and hit the bell. We'll see you in the next one.